Hello YouTube, this is Kenneth Keller, and this is going to be my new video series, Homemade Haven. But before we get started on that, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. Hello camera, hello YouTube in the world. My name is Kenneth Keller. I am an artist and a chef. And, well, there's not much more about me. I wanted to make this video series because I do a lot of artwork, but I do it in an interesting way. My whole goal with every piece of art I do is to do it as cheaply and with as many found items as I can. Garbage, junk, things from thrift stores, things that have been donated, all things that have their own story, their own history, and that's kind of what this is about. Reusing old things in new interesting ways. So, with that, on to what we're doing. This is my Legend of Zelda stained glass. This is more of an explanation of an evolution of an idea. Alright, so imagine this. So I'm sitting on the toilet one day. Yeah, sitting on the toilet. And I, like a lot of guys out there, like to read while I'm sitting on the toilet. So I'm sitting there, and I love video games. I'm a big nerd. Lots of video game stuff around here. Big nerd, love video games, always have. So I'm sitting on the toilet, and I'm reading a game magazine. So this is actually the exact magazine that gave me the idea. This is a Walmart brand giant ad for, well, if you guys can hear that, that's my wife yelling in the background for me not to cuss. But so I'm flipping through the pages here, and there's an ad for the Wind Waker HD collection. And there are several of these pages, so I kept noticing them. And I really liked the stained glass. I'd seen lots of stained glass, but I never really had put any thought into it. It seemed like a lot of amazing work and a lot of detail and time that went into it, but I cannot weld. I can't do it at all. I've tried for years to be able to weld. So I see this, and it pops in my head, I want to do a stained glass. So, evolution of an idea, I see that, and I start thinking about, possibly making a stained glass. So like always, the great and powerful internet, I start looking around for stained glass, and I came across this amazing print right here. This is actually a compilation of stained glass kind of paintings. People have done paintings where they were trying to look like stained glass, and this is a compilation of them. I've looked at a lot of these from the same artist. I actually do not know his name because people have reposted these images over and over on Google. So if you're the actual artist behind these, leave a comment in the bottom of this video so I can actually find out who you are and give you some credit because you do some amazing work. So I got the idea to do the stained glass now. So I started looking around for people who had done stained glass, and I saw this photo. I loved it. I loved the Wind Waker. The Wind Waker was an amazing game, and this stained glass really got to me. It looks great, but it looked really hard to do. So the idea of actually doing stained glass went out the window because there's no way this could be done with actual cutting the metal and cutting the glass and everything. But if someone has taken this photo and made a real stained glass, again, leave a comment so I can thank you for your amazingness. So I see this photo, and I really like it, and I want to do it, but I have no clue how to do stained glass. I have no idea. So how am I going to make it happen with no skill or talent? So first thing I did was I went ahead and printed out that picture. Got it right here. So I knew what I was working with. And what do you know, I'm at the country club, and they threw away, it was out in the dumpster, a giant clock. This giant clock that was out at the pool. This is actually the clock that was inside of it. I took the clock out. I love this clock too. At some point in the future, I am going to figure out something to do with this amazing piece. Right now, it's just kind of sitting here taking up a lot of space. But I'm going to do something neat with that. So I got the thing I wanted to actually make the stained glass in. So I look at my picture. My picture's square. My piece of glass is round. So I went ahead and just drew a circle and said, I'm going to try to fit as much detail from this photo into this round space that I could. So, I took a magic marker, just a regular old magic marker. Surprisingly, I don't have a magic marker sitting around here, so I drew everything with a magic marker on this piece of glass. And I couldn't figure out how I was going to do the stained glass itself. And it popped in my head. Puff paint. Good old, I don't know if you guys know what the stuff is, but in the 80s, it was a big deal about drawing over all of your t-shirts, and puff paint was really popular. It's just it's like a painting material that just kind of sticks up. It just like leaves a big rising surface on whatever you're drawing. And I thought, you know what? I bet that'll work on glass. So I'm going to go ahead and poke here. If you can tell that is actually all risen up from puff paint. So I drew everything on here in puff paint, but I was doing a horrible job until I found this. This is just an actual pen that you put paint in. I loaded it with puff paint, and bam. So now I got a pen. I can draw everything on there with a pen. So I drew everything on there, and then I went to Walmart, and they sell these sun catcher paints. Like, they got a pack of them, maybe like $3. At this point, I think I bought like 10 of these damn packs to have enough paint to do it. So I just bought these paints, and I started painting on it. And at this point, I'm going to consider this a done piece. I mean, I'm going to take a look so you can see this here. Actually took a lot of work, a lot of time. I wish I could have actually made a video for all the time that I put into this, but I didn't start making this video series until I'd already finished this piece. So I'm going to turn the light out here so we can get a better look at the actual stained glass. That's what it looks like lit up. If anyone's interested, what I did was I once again went to Walmart and I was trying to figure out how to light this up and found some Halloween rope lights on clearance. So I actually just put rope lights all around the inside, but there's nowhere to tape it or screw it in because underneath the stone it's all metal. So my wife actually had an amazing idea of taking a coat hanger, putting it in the shape of the piece, and then just duct taping around the tape. So, I mean, around the coat hanger. So that is rope light with a coat hanger that is lighting this whole thing up. I don't know how much I put into this piece, but I would say maybe less than $25 went into making this whole piece, and I'm really proud of it. I think it's a great job. Hopefully everyone else out there likes it, and it inspires them to make some stained glass of their own. Oh, one little side note, there's this guy right here. I kind of just thought the wall was kind of bare below it, so this is kind of my rendition of the wooden sword that, I don't know, if anyone played the original Nintendo version of Legend of Zelda, you'd walk into that first cave and say, you know, an old guy would say it's dangerous out there, and you'd pick up this crappy little wooden sword. Well, here is the crappy little wooden sword. This is actually a wooden sword from a Renaissance festival. I don't remember where we got this one, but my son has been toting this around for a while. I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and just put a little bit of paint on that. That actually is a fish tank marble with this little piece of plastic. It's interesting. Everything I always take things apart and reuse whatever I find in it. Like, I don't throw things away. Maybe I'll make a video later on the boxes upon boxes of just junk that I have taken apart laying around in case I ever want to use it for a project. But I think this was a gear for something to hold it in place. I kind of just took it out and painted it copper and put it on there, and I really like that. So put that back on there. Well, thank you, YouTube. That is what I plan on being a series from now on. I got lots of art projects that I'm working on, some that I've finished that I'd like to show off, and maybe some that people out there can just give me some ideas for. I'm always looking for new ideas for projects. So if you like the video and you got any ideas for me in the future, just go ahead and leave it in the comments area, and thank you.